Amityville Poltergeist. What a magnificent cover! Let's see if the movie can reach up high there. So, Amityville Poltergeist is one of the Wild Eyes productions. This time it is not committed by Mark Polonia, for better or worse. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not Wild Eyes, but Breaking Glass. My bad. The poster misled me. They have very similar style, very bright colors, very misleading content of the cover, you know, just very clickbaity. It's really the blockbuster phenomenon. Just make them rent your product and then, well, sucker, I have your money, no return. I forewarn you for reals. The movie has no poltergeist. It has a ghost. That's a different thing, and I'm taking my fairy tales very seriously. We start with what I assume is an effort to say this is the house, and also the end of the timeline, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not. Don't know why I did not get a time code card in this time code card obsessed movie. But it did not. By the way, this was made entirely as not an Amityville movie. It was just slapped on it. At the very end of the production, it was actually in the distribution phase. So I think the house establishing shots were just inserts in that period. Our protagonist, Jim, is in trouble because he's a junkie who is afraid of needles, so selling his blood for money is out of options. But what else is there? House sitting! Don't expect much. Neither of the crew had a house, nor knew anyone who could borrow them one. Another plot point seems to be that Jim's friend's black girlfriend is pedaling to get Jim, but Jim has morals, or is just distracted too frequently. Anyway, he's taking the job for the weekend, and maybe probably the owner's senile mother will be there too. They mention possible burglars, but probably it is more about the mom not touching the house in delirium. Well, forget about all of this because mom will not be there. She will be brought to a specialist because of her dementia, and there will be no burglars at all. So forget any tension or build up. Oh, by the way, the bagger's boyfriend is active on Tinder, or maybe the girlfriend is sending her semi-nudes to protagonist, and boyfriend sees that and don't care about that and is mentioning that he would cheat on her too if he had the whim. Either way, that relationship is mutual cheating. Will that go anywhere? No. Next day, the owner and mother go away and protagonist remains in the single room the crew could have access to. Protagonist guy calls his father, which will be a moot point, again another moot point, and we first see the Samara knockoff who deliberately tries to hunt our guy, but he's too preoccupied or later straight out stoned to notice the lurching around. It would be actually interesting twist to find out that this is a stranger living in the walls situation, but it won't be that. Then at around 25 minutes we get our first out-of-date time card, because if you noticed we were in February and this time card is from January. So You could question maybe it's another year, but don't overthink it. We established for the second title card we jumped back 6 days, so this is jumping back 1 month. But without any warning that this is happening, you won't even notice this jumping around for a long time and you get confused. And as the movie is not exactly exciting, that's a huge problem. So, now we have a mom and owner's sister who supposedly one day simply left. They You wouldn't have any idea what's going on, as I mentioned, watching this movie a second time, and the experience does not worth it. Talking about confusing details, when at the beginning, the owner opens that alcove door and fights protagonist, really could have helped if in the next scene, the movie starting proper, he wouldn't wear a hat, to recognize it as the same person, because the hat is a distinctive detail. So when one person who I just met, like 5 second difference, wears a hat and wears not a hat, and I don't see him or her or it taking up and down the hat, I will be assuming it's a different person, you know. I had to rewind like 1,000 times to figure out the two persons are the same. After watching Mom sitting on the couch, we jump back in time to watch the stoner sitting on the couch. Well, this went as expected, so jump back again to watch Mom sit a bit more. Turns out, Mommy wants a shotgun. I would say it would be even better than an M16. School shooters love so much. Sure, the M16s shoot plenty of bullets, but you still have to aim somewhat. With a shotgun, you just shoot and it hits everything at once. Well, nothing new here. We get another time code, and I have no idea if this was intentional or they messed it up. But if they messed it up, they messed it up hard, because this seems to be a different year. Anyway, we learned that protagonist's mom definitely had breast cancer. No, this is not important information. My guess is they try to build a mirror story with our protagonist, but it just doesn't work like at all. I also wonder if they are intentionally funny or not. I doubt they are intentionally funny. Time for another title card. From this we can derive they definitely messed up the previous time card. Mom has this dubious relative who definitely will give her a shotgun. Every demented schizo should get a gun under the umbrella of the Second Amendment. And only them. It's just a pistol, but you have to start somewhere. Well, we can make an educated guess now. Mom will kill the owner's sister, and she becomes that Krajnikov ghost. Now, what happened with the body? But for now, timecode card, from which we definitely learned the previous boy card wasn't just affected by a typo, but it also should have been PM, not AM. Or, and this is even more likely, this scene was supposed to continue the previous one, but somebody catch the news and rewrote this shit on the whim, ruining whatever sense this nothing had. But if anyone cares, protagonist and black girl split their relationship Yes, they had sex off camera, so who cares? The next important thing is another time code they messed up, showing that frigging mobile. There is maybe a quarter hour left, so really should something happen finally. Mom and owner arrive home, find protagonist in the alcove, no idea where the other two went or why he's there, but the corpse definitely was put there too. I think because they keep mentioning some disgusting smell. Not that there is a space for the body in there, but who cares at this point? It's almost over. No! Mom kills the owner, and at this point during the original watching, I felt generous giving the movie the Amityville medal for, the family was being killed and there was some ghost possession thing running. But then happens this suicide, so I'm revoking that and I'm just giving up on this one.